How do we find that dissertation topic or that research idea? It's not like they just grow on magic idea tree. Oh, hold on, there's one here. What does this say? Aha. Daddy, you smell and your students don't like you. Just hold on a moment. Freya, will you stop leaving these notes around the house, please? It is not funny. So in today's video, we're going to go through 5 steps in 5 minutes, quickly showing you the best ways to generate those ideas, that direction, and your research topic. So number 1, where you get the idea from is going to the field. Don't just dream up and try and generate a research topic out of thin air. All research is situated within a field of knowledge, and you need to go to that field and look at the studies. Go to a key journal in your chosen field, look in what other academics are writing about, what can I pinch, what can I mimic, what can I draw upon, what I might be able to research myself. A study that you love, a particular study that really struck you when you were studying your module. Go back to that study, look how the parameters of it were constructed, see what you can use. I just call it flipping studies. What can you change about that studies? How might you turn it around? What could be the what if question? So what if they'd done the study differently? What if they'd done it in a different location? What if they'd done it with a different population of people? If you don't start with the field, you'll start with your research idea and you'll really struggle to place it within literature, and that will make it really difficult to write your literature review.
It's not going to be easy, it's going to be really hard.
So if you start off with the literature and draw your study out of it, this will give you such an advantage. Academics are having conversations with each other, and at the start of all academic papers, there's normally a literature review. In their study, they are justifying and situating their research within a field of literature. And therefore, they're doing the work for you. They're talking to these academics and they're directing you to other papers which are within this field of study which you can focus on. There's so many similarities between different studies in a field, and all they've done is minor alterations, minor extensions, little differences, so ultimately are contributing something new to the field. So step number 2 of how we might generate an idea is the idea of narrowing. When we think about what academic research is, it is about that specificity, narrowing and narrowing. And one of the ways that we can do this is looking at some of the specifics of the study. What method might you be using? So different pieces of research in a field can differ because they've used different methods to find that out. Different quantitative methods, different qualitative methods. Maybe they've done a grounded study, maybe they've looked at it through ethnography, and all of these things will give it that special uniqueness. You can also narrow down and give greater justification for your research through the people and the populations that you are studying. What sort of demographic of people are you looking at? Are you looking at students? Are you looking at older people? Another way that you can narrow is choosing a certain place, a particular organization. So very often in literature, these studies have taken place in certain areas, geographical locations, and also certain organizations. Now, all organizations are different, and they will all offer up a uniqueness to your own study. So you can justify and rationalize why your study is important and the gap that it feeds because it's looking at a certain type of organization. Now, the third thing to think about when we're doing our research is to think about the plausibility. Is it feasible? Is it possible? Now, it's good to be ambitious, but don't be overly ambitious. We have to make sure that what you carry out, that you can actually get the data and it is actually going to happen. So make sure you've got accessibility to the place that you want to study, make sure that the costs aren't too high, and make sure you can do it in the time span that you're looking to do it in. Also, do you have the knowledge? Are you able to do the skills of quantitative analysis or the qualitative methods? If not, it's going to take a lot of time for you to equip yourself with that knowledge. So think about yourself, be reflexive. What are you capable of? What is good for you as study? And what are you going to enjoy doing? Fourthly, how do we create the research question? So to do this, basically what we want to be doing is drawing relationships between different phenomena. So we'll have different themes and different ideas, but how are they going to connect? How are they going to draw antagonism or difference or tension or expose some dynamic or relationship between them?
Oh yeah, I can feel the tension. Whoa, tension.
So very often when I discuss with my students, they'll come to me with different themes that they might be interested in and have looked at that literature, but then we want to think about how can you draw that relationship for an actual question. So say for instance, a student wanted to look at a particular occupational group of consultants. They also wanted to look at the identity of consultants, and they also were thinking about how space influences the consultant identity. So thinking through this, we thought we could ask a question of how is consultant identity constructed through the spaces of work? Now the fifth one I think is really important, and it's about moving from the idea stage and crystallizing it onto paper. And the best way to do this is to fill out your research proposal. Once you can see it on document, you can start to work on it, redraft it, and think it through in a more logical way. Move from the idea phase of your topics and start to work it through onto an actual proposal. It's only at this stage sometimes when we can start to see how it's all constituted, how we've got our methodology, how we've got our idea, what our aims might be. It starts to become visible, become a lot clearer, and give that punch and bit of weight behind it. Okay, that's it then. That was 5 steps to doing your dissertation topic and research idea. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, you've got something out of it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.